Welcome back, Borderlands community, and welcome to another Borderlands 3 video. Today we're going to be going over Lilith's tattoos and what that exactly means. In case you guys don't know, there's 6 sirens that are able to be, within the Borderlands universe at one time. Now, we don't know exactly how that goes. If a siren dies, does she transfer that over to somebody else? Can she intentionally lose her powers? Can her powers be taken away? Well, we have found out that Lilith loses her tattoos some part along within Borderlands 3, and she actually says it here in the trailer. I'm going to play a little snippet of that so you guys can hear that. So listen closely. You'll hear her talk about how she was a siren at one point, and you'll actually see her tattoos along her left side disappear out of nowhere as she says that. So pay close attention. So this is the E3 trailer, in case you guys haven't seen it, but this little snippet in the beginning is, what talks about it. So you can already see there she has her tattoos like normal, like she normally does within the past 2 Borderlands games. But when she says she was a siren, you'll see her tattoos actually disappear.
There are 6 sirens in the universe. I used to be one of them. My name is Lilith, and I need...
So there you go. Her tattoos are gone for some reason. Why they're gone, we do not know. You can see in some of the other trailers they're not here as well, and not here, in the trailer we just watched. And here's a little comparison to show you. Now, the interesting thing here, guys, is in the gameplay, the first bit of gameplay we ever saw of Borderlands, that's where this one is taken right here, her little introduction that, shows who she is, like the Borderlands style does. She has her tattoos. So, there might be a point in time where she has her tattoos and it's taken away in Borderlands 3, or they might have simply just shown her with the tattoos in the gameplay just so, we're not, thrown off guard right away. They wanted us to feel familiar with the game. I don't know, familiar with the characters in a way, something like that. But I think we might be starting the game with her having the tattoos and then her eventually losing them. This is a little picture here. See if I can find the other ones. There's a picture here. This one I can blow it up here in a second. I'll get another one. The vault key is actually here, and it shows Troy and Tyreen there. Let me find the picture. Let's go to Borderlands. You'll see that she actually loses her tattoos. And it shows her struggling to grab the vault key. That was in some of the stuff here. Right there it is. So there's the vault key. And then Lilith is kind of struggling to, pick it up. There, see if we can blow this picture up. There it is. So you get, Troy and Tyreen in the background, her without her tattoos, and then the vault key laying on the ground. If you guys have played the new Borderlands 2 expansion, you'll learn that the vault key gets launched out and kind of just thrown in the middle of a wasteland, and it looks like bandits end up finding it. So here's her struggling to get the vault key. That leads me to wonder, do you think maybe the reason she doesn't have her powers is because it was taken away from her? Or, the very easy one here, it might be that Tyreen has actually stolen Lilith's powers from her. I don't know how the whole siren thing goes. We don't know a whole lot about the lore. We just know there could be 6 of them, and that, when one dies, we just are assuming that another one is just born. We don't actually know. And Troy actually has red tattoos on his left side, like a siren would on their left side, but it's blue. It's kind of the opposite. Maybe it's just opposite for males to have like the red color instead of the blue color. I don't know. There's a couple explanations that we can go through here. That she has it taken from her, or she chooses to give it away. Taken from her, it's more than likely from Tyreen or Troy that she gets it stolen from, or they might have been using her to charge the vault key or the vault map, you could say. There's a very good chance that's what's happening here, or she actually did give it away. I don't know why she would choose to give it away. She's pretty powerful. She's a great siren. As far as we know, in the beginning of the game, she still has her powers. So it has to be after the events of the last Borderlands 2 DLC that she loses her powers. It has to be at some point within Borderlands 3. I'd imagine that's some of the stuff that we're gonna first see when playing Borderlands 3. I'm sure they're gonna have to use it to tie in with the story. I'm sure Troy and Tyrene and the the children of the vault have something to do with her losing her powers. Either she sacrifices it up for some reason or she gets it taken from her. I feel like she is getting it taken from her. I feel like that's the better bet. I don't think she would just willingly give it up, especially with her being the commander of the Crimson Raiders. She's a big figure. I'm not too sure how useful Lilith will be. I mean, she's good at shooting and stuff like that, but is she... how powerful is she without her Siren powers? Her Siren powers did so much for her. And I guess we'll have to learn a lot more lore about the Sirens when it comes to this game. And hopefully, Lilith will be okay without those powers. She might not be on the field as much anymore because of that, so we can't rely on her too much, which is, I guess, good in a way. A lot of Borderlands 2, there were a lot of fights where Lilith does come along and she's helping a lot. So, I mean, this is kind of cool, I guess. We get to shine in our own light. I don't think she'd give her powers up to Amara. I don't think that makes sense. That makes Amara look lesser, I guess, because she's not actually doing her own thing. She's kind of just, given those strength, those powers. I bet Tyrene had stolen it from her with the, them finding the vault key, because it randomly gets thrown out and is found at some kind of bandit camp, and we are to assume they somehow get a hold of it, because we know that they have it. We know at some point they have it. Right now, Lilith and the gang, they don't know where it is at the end of the Borderlands 2 DLC. It's pretty safe to assume that Troy and Tyrene end up stumbling upon it and finding it, and end up having this giant, cult following around them because they know where all the vaults are. Them knowing where all the vaults are gives them power. Maybe they use that power to find Lilith. Lilith says she's staying around to recruit more people on Pandora, while it looks like everybody else is going up into space to look at the other vaults. So she's staying around trying to regroup and rebuild the Crimson Raiders, while maybe at the other time she's kind of by herself. Maybe while she's trying to go around and recruit, maybe Troy and Tyrene end up finding the vault map or vault key, and they use their power to get her and take her Siren powers. I don't know. We're going to need more lore about how the Sirens of the universe work, because we only know so much about them. We know Commander Steele ends up, dying and losing. We imagine she loses her powers. I don't know if it's a reincarnation thing or if they willingly can pass it down, like, All Might to Izuku Midoriya. Maybe she, passes the power on to generation. I don't know how it works. Or if it's done by death and then random selection. We've had Angel die and Commander Steel both die, and we have not found, what happens to their powers. We don't know. We didn't get an explanation as to where it transferred to, how it got transferred, if they, willingly chose who to transfer it to. We don't even know the origins of the power itself. We know it's like a powerful energy that Uridium, is infected by or enhances it, but we don't exactly know what all that can do. Maybe the Uridium eventually gets to Lilith and ends up affecting her too bad, kind of like a drug maybe, and she's like somewhat overdoses and can no longer use the Uridium and her powers seep away. It could be that. The Siren powers might be a duration of time necessarily, not so much that you get it for your whole lifetime, but it slowly goes away. Of course, this is all speculation and analysis. Who really knows what happens? We just have this to go off of, but something to think about, guys, when you're going into Borderlands 3. Just to remember that she gets her powers in the beginning, she has them, or she currently still has them in the beginning of the game, and at some point along the way loses it, and she actually says she loses it and that she needs people. That could be sounding a lot like recruiting, but that's during Borderlands 2 at the very end, but she could just be looking for more people still after she loses her powers. The Crimson Raiders is, devastated after what happened at that final Borderlands 2 DLC, because, Pandora completely explodes. A lot of people die from the new Pandoran, people. So they're pretty low on people. They're trying to go around and find all these vaults while going up against Troy and Tyrene with their entire Children of the Vault thing. there's definitely a big, power imbalance. They're fighting each other, so that's pretty cool. I'm excited about this. I don't like that she doesn't have her powers, because Lilith definitely was a character I played a lot in Borderlands 1. She was one of my favorites in Borderlands 2. Overall, she's a badass character. I know a lot of people think she's kind of overrated, and I can see that, but she's honestly one of the coolest characters, I think, in just video gaming in general, and she's just a badass female lead. It is really cool to see her, shine the past, couple of games that she has, but now we might be seeing a softer, non-fighting Lilith, which is kind of strange to think of. But that's going to be it for this Borderlands 3 theorizing video. I'll be keeping updates here on the channel, so please subscribe. We'll be doing more and more Borderlands 3 videos going up to the release September 13th. If you want to, down below, I have my D-Live. I thought about trying D-Live. I also have my Twitch down below, where I'll be sure to have that Borderlands 3 Twitch extension. So if you're ever watching my Twitch, you can gain free loot. Whenever the chests I open up, you'll be able to randomly be in a raffle to get free loot. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe for more content, and I will see you all in the next Borderlands video. Thank you for watching.